The purpose of this workshop is to teach you how you can unlock peak performance during competitions so you maximize your chance of success. The technique you will learn achieves this by reducing your perception of effort, which, as we've already seen, can limit your performance and force you to slow your pace or take breaks, which can be very frustrating. The techniques used to unlock peak performance can be used in any sport, and I personally have used them with athletes at all levels of competition, from aspiring amateurs to Olympic level athletes, and in many sports such as cycling, CrossFit and rugby. Many athletes were eager to learn these techniques and couldn't wait to get to try them out in their next competition. Others were more cautious. They really wanted to learn how to unlock peak performance, but something was holding them back. It soon became clear what was causing them to be apprehensive, and perhaps these thoughts are crossing your mind too, so let's have a look at them. The first reservation the athletes had was that it would take a long time to unlock peak performance. Continual effort every day for months, if not years, and it's a valid thought. Think about it. Often in life, if we want to learn something new, a skill, language, style of cooking, pretty much anything, it takes time, lots of mistakes, some successes, and eventually we master it. But these are physical skills where we need to learn new movement patterns, for example. In this workshop, we're looking at mental skills, and although they still take some time to learn and practice, it's not months, not even weeks. You'll notice improvements within a week, with just 5 minutes of practice a day. The second reservation was the idea that it would take a lot of effort to learn these skills. Some athletes thought that it was going to involve workbooks, hours of long practice sessions, even attending lessons. And finally, a lot of people were concerned that the technique was going to be complicated to learn, and that they might not understand it, and then wouldn't be able to unlock peak performance. To counteract these reservations, the subsequent workshop is very specially designed. The techniques are based on Pareto's law. Pareto's law is otherwise known as the 80-20 rule. The idea that often in life 80% of the results come from 20% of the effort put in. So in this workshop, you're going to learn the techniques that will take minimal effort but will bring great returns to improve every aspect of your game. These are very effective techniques, so with only a small amount of practice, you can unlock peak performance quickly and see the benefits as soon as your next competition. Because these techniques are very specific, learning them doesn't take weeks or months. The skills you will learn in the following workshop take probably less than a training session. Because they're based on the 80-20 rule, it means that rather than taking a lot of effort to learn, the techniques are presented in such a way that they're simple to understand, but will still have a large impact on your performance levels. Finally, because the easiest way to learn a new skill is to break it down into small chunks, each step is in easy, manageable sections, so you understand the purpose behind each technique as well as how it works. So what are you going to learn in Unlocking Peak Performance workshop? Firstly, we'll explore why the techniques most athletes use to cope with physical and mental stress don't work, and in fact exasperate the problem. If you're an athlete who attempts to handle the burning of lactate by trying to block distressing thoughts out, or telling yourself to just ignore the pain, or by trying to reassure yourself that everything's going to be okay, then you'll find out why these techniques are actually making the pain much, much worse. Instead, with Unlocking Peak Performance, you will learn techniques that actually allow you to handle this negative situation much more effectively. We'll look at how small tweaks in the language you use can reduce your perception of effort and allow you to maintain and improve your performance levels, even when your legs are burning and you're starting to fatigue. We'll then quickly explore how this technique works and why it helps you to push harder for longer. Finally, I'll show you the training guide to explain how to practice using this technique so you can unlock peak performance. Within sport, you tend to find athletes who are best equipped to handle the distressing physical moments are the ones who end up on the podium. Think about it. Do the top competitors in your sport always seem to be able to keep pace even though they are clearly struggling? Are the athletes who always seem to be on the podium positions able to handle that physical and mental discomfort better than the rest of the field? Are the athletes with sponsorships and professional contracts the ones who can continue to perform despite being incredibly fatigued? The research shows that the answer is yes, they are. Ali Astokori, a researcher from the University of Kent, found that athletes who were able to handle high levels of physical and mental discomfort were able to complete a 16.1 kilometer cycling time trial significantly faster than those who had lower levels of discomfort tolerance. Understanding how to unlock your peak performance will help you achieve the goals you've been training for, whether that's the top 10 in a specific race, capturing a podium position, winning prize money, or trying to earn a professional contract. Learning the technique in this workshop will allow you to keep going when your mind is telling you to quit, helping you to perform at your best and fast-tracking the journey to achieving your goals. Plus, knowing that you can perform at every competition you enter will destroy any pre-competition nerves and help you feel confident and enjoy competing. Overall, it helps you to be the athlete you know you can be. It helps you feel confident, like you can win competitions. It helps you act determined, boosting your chance of success. And it helps you be persistent when your mind is telling you to slow down. It will take your competition performances to a new level. To learn the simple technique to unlock peak performance, click the Mind.Set.Action logo below this video. If you're still unsure about whether unlocking peak performance can help you achieve sporting success, then I want to show you an example of how this technique helped one rider finally claim a podium position. Earlier this year I was approached by a cyclist who was incredibly frustrated with his current form because he kept missing out on a podium position by mere seconds. As he said, essentially if I could give a bit more effort for 5 seconds I'd be on the podium. But that was the problem. When he entered the final sprint of the race, he immediately felt those burning sensations in his legs as he tried to power the pedals round. And as you know, with every second that goes by, this burning gets worse and spreads further throughout your muscles. Not only that, but when this rider felt that burning sensation, he began thinking, I can't do this, I need to hold on, I can't push anymore, it's too much. And in those closing moments of the race, the most important parts, he had intense physical and mental discomfort. This rider also said that the most demoralizing thing was knowing he was working as hard as he could, but he kept seeing his rivals gradually creep ahead and take all of the podium spots. So close and yet so far. After a race, he said the same thought kept going around his mind. What if I just kept going a little longer? Why didn't I just dig deep and give one more effort? And how can I get better and stop being beaten to the podium again and again? A few days later, I taught him the technique that you will learn in this workshop. The following week, we met again, and before we'd even sat down, he explained that he finally won a race. No more nearlies or almosts. He'd taken first place. He said that it felt incredible to cross the line knowing he'd out-sprinted his rivals who'd been getting the better of him throughout the season so far. But he also had a sense of relief that he'd broken through the plateau of just missing out on the podium positions. Instead, he described how he felt optimistic he could now continue to achieve race victories for the rest of the season. This rider knew that continuing to train and improve his physiology wasn't going to help him beat his rivals, because all of the riders were training just as hard. There's no advantage to be gained. But he recognised that he could gain an advantage using sports psychology to understand how he could boost his performance levels when he felt that physical and mental discomfort. Ultimately, this technique gave this rider the advantage over the competition he needed to stand atop the podium, and it could be the key to unlocking your peak performance. To learn the same simple technique to unlock your peak performance, click the Mind.Set.Action logo below this video.